For the last little while, Spider-Man 2, not that one, has made me question my taste in video games because everyone else seems to love this game. I think Marvel's Spider-Man 2, not that one, has some of the worst character writing I've seen in a long time. The plot has major problems and the gameplay is fucking great. I'm not crazy, swinging around New York, so sweet swinging, but punching people in the face for ripping up. Definitely not killing people. Oh yeah, look at them, they're alive. They're totally alive. Stopping crime, being spider boys, one with electric, one with the gadgets. Nothing's gonna break my stride. I'm having such a good time. Oh. So yeah, hooray gameplay and no way story, and I'm gonna spend the next however long filling you guys in. Don't do that, you dirty.
She won't listen to me if I say she's in danger, but maybe she'd listen to someone she doesn't know.
I really like character writing. Like, it's one of my favorite things in stories, full stop. I will forgive a lot of plot problems for good, strong character writing. Best way I can describe character writing is that the characters feel like they're being driven by their own thoughts and feelings and not just the plot. I'm going to compare two scenes, one from Andor and one from Spider-Man, because not enough people know how good Andor is. Too many people think Spider-Man's good. We're gonna talk about the opening scene of Andor, so no spoilers, calm down. He gets accosted by these two men. They're gonna rob him because they're corrupt space police. Headbutts one of them and wrestles the gun from the other guy. Fantastic, gets the gun, points it at the guy, and then he tells him, "Get up! Get him up!" Which implies that he is going to let them walk away. But then the awake man says this. "She's not breathing." What's really important is Andor's response to that. "No. Willow. He's taking. This tells us again that he doesn't want the guy dead. Now this guy is mad, obviously, until he realizes he's expendable. And then he immediately starts begging for his life.
He fell. We had a misunderstanding and we played too hard on him and you didn't understand and he tried to grab you and he fell and he hit his head. We're going together."
But while he's giving his spiel, Andor is just staring at him. Do you know what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen? Thinking. And it takes Andor a whole 30 seconds after he realizes that guy's dead to make his decision.
What happened?
If it only took him 10 seconds of silence and then he shot the guy, I could believe he just immediately thought, this guy's seen my face, he needs to die. The creators of the show giving him 30 seconds to think, that makes me think he's considering as many options as he can to not kill this guy. This character, at about 2 minutes, feels like he is running on an internal dialogue. He's thinking to himself and going off of that. The plot isn't what's driving him, his thoughts are. What did we learn about Andor? He's calculating and not afraid to kill people. But a deeper look at the scene shows us it wasn't his first intention to kill them. And it seems like he's considering every other option until he realizes he has to kill this guy because that's the best chance he has of not going to space jail. The small actions that people take matter. They tell me a lot about who they are and how they think. This is a great show. Please watch it. No one did. Okay, Spider-Man 2. Harry offers Peter the job at the Emily May Foundation, business where they save people's lives, and for some reason he doesn't immediately say yes. He actually hesitates for like a while, which is very strange. Peter just lost his job. He owes the bank $500,000. He's $4 grand overdue. This whole situation with Harry, it would fix all of that. It's a co-founder position, so he's the boss. He can turn up or leave, honestly, whenever he wants, so it's not going to get in the way of him being Spider-Man. It's going to fix all of his money problems, take the pressure off of him so he can mourn and grieve the death of his aunt. It's also doing really good stuff like saving the bees and curing world hunger, and he gets to do science all the time, which this is like his jam. That the only explanation we get for him not wanting to take the job is this line.
This is all so amazing. It's perfect, really. It's just... things are really hectic right now.
Yes, Spider-Man, there's a lot going on at the moment. And this is gonna solve most of your problems. There's no way you don't know that. What finally convinces Pete is this sales pitch from Harry.
When I was in treatment, all I could think about was, what would I do if I survived? And I kept hearing my mom's voice telling me that our planet is in trouble and it's my responsibility to save it. If you join me, there's so much more that we can do. Come on, let's make my mom and May proud, huh?
Why is it a sales pitch? Why is he not just really confused? Harry isn't reacting like he knows Peter Parker. This, from the outside perspective, looks perfect for Peter, and he's saying no. I think he should be more confused. Like, you just got fired, you have a house that you need to pay off now, like, and you get to do science, and I'm your best friend. This your project? What's going on? What's happening? But the sales pitch involves him saying he heard his mom's voice, which could be a setup for the symbiote.
You finally have the power to do what we've always wanted. We're going to heal the world.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. They're setting up a plot point with Harry instead of Harry responding as Harry would. It makes them not look like very close friends. It makes Peter kind of look stupid because it's far too amazing an opportunity for Peter to be confused about. So it's making him look kind of strange. And ultimately, this is my problem with this game. Throughout the course of this game, they make him look dumb, weak, pathetic, bad mentor, and a bad boyfriend. And I think I know what the cause was. It's all because the writers wanted these two goofy goobers to be more important than Peter in his own story. To effectively discuss this game, we're going to need to understand the story. So I'm going to tell you the tale of Spider-Man 2 quickly. Peter and Miles are now the Spider Boys, and Sandman attacks the city and this huge form, and Spider Boys are like, let's go fight this guy. So they do defeat Sandman. Then they talk to Sandman, find out that something's coming to kill them, and then obviously that person is Kraven. How is Kraven gonna fight this? That's my question. Harry's not dead. Harry, remember, best friend, last game missing, and he was sick, but not really. He's a symbiote. Riding a bike. That's what I want to do in my Spider-Man game. Then there's a prison transfer, so it's time to go babysit. They're transporting Martin Lee and Scorpion. And then Miles is mad. He's a little bit angry. He has an angry moment. The Kraven people attack the boat. They try and steal Martin Lee. Miles Morales tries to stop them. And while he's trying to stop Martin Lee getting taken away, these people are all gonna maybe die due to this big spinny thing get chopped up. Spider-Man has to come in and tell Miles, hey, I need your help. And then Miles lets go. He just punches it and blows it away. Now, Miles obviously made a mistake here. All these people could have died. Surely Peter Parker is gonna tell Miles how to be Spider-Man. You know, let your anger go or something like that. But nope, kind of gives him a crisp fist bump and then he flies away. Then Peter goes to the carnival with his friend Harry and MJ. More exciting gameplay. Harry, oh my god, he's so strong and got the Venom-y stuff. Oh no. Then we have wonderful MJ missions. Hooray! And then she finds Connors, but then Kraven's there, stabs Connors, which will make him a lizard, but then Spider-Man zips it away, which means if he was 1 second early, Spider-Man gets stabbed. I'd like to remind you that Spider-Man can do this kind of thing. He just gets stabbed. I'm gonna That's all he did. Really stupid. But anyway, he gets the black suit. Harry has cancer, and then the black suit was keeping him alive, but now Peter has the black suit because he got stabbed. But then if he gives Harry the black suit, is he gonna die from the stab wound? This isn't a question anyone asks. He just tries to give Harry the suit back straight away. And then so yeah, they chase and stop the lizard, and then Peter's like, I have big teeth too. So he's becoming edgy now. Okay, then he gets home and then he goes to sleep. The hunters arrive and MJ's like, oh no, I'll get my stun gun. And then Spider-Man is not nowhere to be seen. Turns out he's going absolutely bananas on the hunter people, but he's asleep. It's not really him, it's the alien symbiote. MJ missions. Yeah. And then you end up at this bit here where they're fighting. Then MJ has this brilliant idea to drive her bike into this tunnel with this crazy Spider-Man. And she somehow survives this encounter with Spider-Man, which I just think is really dumb. They shouldn't have done this at all. Miles also gets caught and Peter is sleeping on a bench. And then MJ wrote a hit piece on Spider-Man, which I still can't wrap my head around. There's no world where that is a nice thing to do to someone you love. Peter finds out, goes and bullies MJ and Harry for a while. Kraven and Spider-Man have a fight. Spider-Man goes to fight Kraven and then wins. Here's Miles, by the way. He's about to kill him and Miles pops up out of nowhere. How? So he stops Kraven dying from Spider-Man, and then those two have a fight. And of course, with Miles being in the state he is and Spider-Man being in the roided state he is, Miles beats Spider-Man up and they get, they get the symbiote off of him because that makes complete sense. And then they put the Venom symbiote suit thingy in this container and it's in Spider-Man's hands. Now, this is the safest place this symbiote jar can be. It'd be very hard to get the symbiote jar off of Spider-Man and back onto Harry, which is what the script needs to happen. So, what do? The clever geniuses at Insomniac, they have a very sick and weak man swing his cane and hit the jar, and Spider-Man doesn't do a single thing to stop it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you so bad? So it cracks the jar. Oh, it also explodes and throws Spider-Man 15 feet. Spider-Man gets knocked out while the symbiote goes back onto Harry. May I remind you that Spider-Man has been smacked 50 stories and he's not even slightly asleep. Venom picks up Spider-Man and throws him into a wall, and then Spider-Man is nowhere to be seen for the next 15 minutes when Venom kills all the people in this building and then goes and beats Craven. But anyway, he is up, and then he walks through these people, and he isn't even slightly shooketh by the fact that all these people are clearly mauled to pieces. He finds out that Venom made lots of evil people that they need to beat. So everywhere is a symbiote now. Now remember this section which was completely useless, where Miles talked to Catwoman because for some reason they thought they'd give this to Miles to Peter, even though Peter has all the history with the Black Cat. But anyway, she has a magic wand, and if you get the magic wand, and then there's a note that says, "We're back from holiday, Wong. New York City looks like this." Where the fuck is Doctor Strange, and where is Wong? There's also an Avengers Tower. Where are they? This is a problem that needs solved by superheroes, and the two Spider-Men are clearly having a hard time. Anyway, Miles, in the middle of a bloody apocalypse, goes home and gets changed. And yes, everyone's talked about it, the suit is disgusting, and I don't know what they were thinking. Peter goes to fight Venom on his own in the heart of the cave, and then Miles appears to save him and says the funniest thing I've heard in this game. Hey, yo, bro! Not cool. And I don't know who wrote this, but I think they might be 60. They escape, and then do they go do a plan now? I think this is when they go do a plan. The plan is to bring MJ along, which is just, I can't stress how dumb this is. You built to this climax game, and then you're like, oh, you know what they'll want to do? Play as Mary Jane, who goes into the heart of the symbiote place, which is just insanely stupid. I can't stress how dumb. She gets the MacGuffin, doesn't even use gloves, and picks it up, and then makes her way out. Miles' plan was to lure them away. Peter's plan was to fight Venom. Oh fuck, I didn't even talk. Spider-Man's white now. Okay, but to get that, Spider-Man gets picked up by this guy somehow, thrown to the ground, and then good. Martin Lee comes along and Miles come along, and then they save him in his head because Martin Lee is a good guy now. He has the white power now. So his job is to fight Venom as anti-Venom, and then Spider-Man loses, which just seems very silly because he's literally anti the thing that he's fighting and he loses. Why are you so bad? But anyway, Miles fights him. Craven beat Miles and Venom beat Craven. So if Venom was to fight Miles and even anti-Venom Spider-Man couldn't beat Venom, how is Miles going to do against Venom? Well, he fights him to a complete standstill, which just boggles my brain to no end. And MJ and Miles destroy the symbiote in the particle collider. Spider-Man finally gets to do something, and it is kill his best friend. I'm done. That's it. That's the oh, and then no, he kills his best friend, and then Miles is like, "Don't worry, bro," and brings him back to life. So Harry's alive again. So we finally made it. Miles, he's #1 Spider-Man now. Some people aren't happy with this ending, and I'm one of them. I am the hater you are looking for. I hate this ending. It's really shit. Okay, we did it. We made it. First, I want to say I don't actually have an issue with the premise of this ending. I like Miles as a character, and I think it is natural that he takes over for Peter. I just think they did it really shit and really fast. But anyway, I've structured this video into 3 parts. Miles, MJ, Peter. We're going to start with Miles and MJ because I think the way they're written ultimately messes with Peter. So we're going to begin with Miles. So there's 3 things I want to cover. Miles is too strong and Miles is perfect. Right, 2 things.
Why would the city need me when it has you?
He is a perfect little boy. He hasn't got any meaningful flaws. The game alludes to some anger problems, but they don't result in any meaningful consequences for the plot or him or his relationships with anyone. Like Martian Lee, here he is. Miles is angry at him for causing the death of his pappy. Miles finds Lee in a death drowning box of doom thing. Miles is like, "Ooh, I'm gonna kill him." but only for like a split second until he realizes murder is bad because he's a superhero, and then tries to help Lee, but then he goes all blue or something and then falls over. Lee thinks he tried to kill him. That doesn't really come back, but it's fine. But Miles doesn't seriously think about killing Lee, so no issues with anger there. Later on in the same fight, he definitely fucked up there. In a normal job, asking someone to do something twice requires a stern talking to, like you get your shit together. So Miles definitely made a fucking mistake here. But the writers forgot to tell Peter that problem. He just gives him a crisp fist bump and then he leaves. Which is okay. So there's no, so Miles suffers absolutely zero consequences for his actions. It never comes up again that he almost got like 10 people killed. I thought we were gonna go somewhere with his character arc in terms of anger, but no. In contrast, Peter abandons the kids to go fight Sandman and he gets fired for it, as he should. So Spider-Man makes a mistake, gets fired. Miles makes a mistake, nothing happens. Nothing. The writers know what cause and effect looks like, and they're just choosing to ignore it for their perfect boy here, Miles. Also, Insomniac, I played the game. People definitely died here, and you can't hide it from me. There's 7 people below Apron Man. Then Spider-Man stops Apron Man from sliding down, and then 2 people slide past him after. So there's 9 people below Spider-Man, and then we get this shot, and there's only 2. Where did they go? In here, the only place they could have gone. So Miles absolutely killed like 6 people, if not more. Also, punching this thing, did he know it was gonna pop off and fly away from the people? I don't think he did. Webbing the people up or moving them away from the thing was the safest option Miles had, and he chose punch it? Peter, you really gotta talk to this guy. Miles's other arc is his civilian life is suffering and he's preferring to be Spider-Man. And that's getting in the way of him writing his essay and having a love thing with this chick. The issue with this is we don't see any negative consequences for these choices. His friends don't pull him up about him not being there. His girlfriend doesn't even tell him off for missing her exhibit. And his mum isn't like freaking out about him being Spider-Man. And their relationship isn't necessarily stressed in any way. He has to learn to let go of the hate he holds in his heart for Lee so that he can continue with his life, like write the essay and stuff. And then at the end in Lee's mind palace or wherever the fuck, all of his friends and Mammy and Pappy say horrible things to him, which are untrue and don't really faze him, and then he kind of just decides to let go of the hate.
It's not what's holding me back. I was the one doing that. But not anymore.
Also just decides to win. How does he beat Lee? I don't know, he just does. This arc kind of falls flat because there's no repercussions for the choices he makes, and then he just decides to overcome the arc. That isn't an arc, that's a fucking straight line. They also give him the credit for redeeming Martin Lee. When we first meet Martin Lee, he is clearly sad about his choices in the last game.
You don't know what you took from me.
Look at this face. The technology they have for facial animation is amazing. You can see the regret and the pain on his face when Miles said that. This is good, subtle writing. I approve. But then they go and ruin it. The next time these two interact, Martin Lee says exactly what he feels for some reason.
What makes you think you deserve to live?
I won't die as the man that I was.
Inner demons? Devil's breath? The city hall bombing?
Don't recount my sins to me. I know what I've done.
Looks like serving time didn't change you at all.
You're wrong.
But this proves my point. Martin Lee regretted what he did in the last game before Miles got involved. So when Spider-Man says this line,
Wow. Reforming your greatest enemy.
that's really dumb. He had nothing to do with this. The writers don't challenge him at all, whether it's his civilian life or Martin Lee or with his friends or his family. Stories are conflict. That's what they are. So if he doesn't have any flaws, there won't be any conflict. And if he doesn't have any consequences for his actions, there won't be any conflict. There's no, what the fuck are they doing? Something fucking how Miles beats Spider-Man when he's all venomy and roided out, which just shouldn't happen. Like, I could, fucking hell, Insomniac, I could even buy not a beaten up Miles could potentially beat a roided Spider-Man. He's maybe not trying to kill Miles and Miles is trying really hard to knock the shit out of him. Maybe. But you can't, he can barely move, man. Then Miles fights Venom to a complete standstill. game. This guy is incredible. He's a model son, a model superhero, great control over his emotions. He's a genius at hacking. He's an award-winning scientist. He's a very gifted musician. He made his suit with all of the fancy tech in his room, all at the age of 17. How the fuck am I supposed to relate to this guy? And I'm not even done. He doesn't come close to killing Martin Lee. At the start of this fight, he's like, I might kill you.
Spider-Man doesn't kill. You never thought this would.
And then by the end of it, he's like, nah, JK, I'm a good guy. Then he's game for Martin Lee to try and walk the path of redemption. Even though not a day ago, Martin Lee tried to do this to him. So he is eternally understanding. And he saves Peter's life twice. Well, beats him up once, saves his life 2 more times. And he's stronger than Peter. When Peter has a venom boost or an anti-venom boost. And he's got 10 years of Spider-Man experience. And Miles is 17 and has 2. He is the impossible boy. Yeah. Nothing happens to him. No consequences for his actions. No flaws. Perfect boy. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done talking about Miles. Oh my god. Watching the Spider-Verse. I did it 1000% better. Next section. There is a fine line between stupidity and bravery. And MJ fucking sprinted right past the line, built a fucking house in stupid land. Who, in their right mind, with 0 superpowers, 0 training, and no, a couple of fucking Krav Maga lessons from Sable does not count as training, goes into a well-guarded compound of highly trained elite hunters? Stupid people. That's who. She's a civilian. Civilians can't John Wick. The fuck. But then she saw fucking Peter do this to people, and she thinks it's a good idea to lock herself in a tunnel with him. In a tunnel! But what makes it even worse is Miles fucking does it. The scene even has him going, I don't know. And then in the background, Spider-Man is just making mincemeat out of people. Then he has the fucking balls to say to Peter in this section when he's fighting him as a symbiote,
And what about MJ? You could have killed her!
excuse me, young man. You could have webbed her in 1 second and just zipped her away, which I think you should have done. Because you're the superhero and she's the civilian and she's making her way into the danger zone. Like, what the fuck? With great power comes great responsibility. Like, oh my goodness. Don't allow civilians into the war zone. You may be wondering how MJ survived such a dangerous situation. Well, dear viewer, she dodges Spider-Man's surprise attack. Then, what luck? This drill lands in this pile of pipes. And luckily, it turns on. And luckily, it emits the exact frequency that knocks Peter out. She tries to wake him up because the hunters are about to break in. What happened to Miles, you may ask? Well, he's been caught. How did he get caught? Well, when you fucking, oh my god. The hunters decided that it'd be really smart to send one of their men up this crane dressed as a construction worker, and they'll blow up the bottom of the crane and the crane will fall, and Spider-Man will obviously save him because he's Spider-Man, but to make it more realistic and more trickery, we'll try and stop him from saving their friend, and then he catches him, he saves him, and then he stabs him in the back with the sleepy juice, and then he falls asleep, and they caught Miles, and this is the stupidest thing I have ever seen in this game. Anyway, she wakes him up by giving him a good tase, and then he goes nuts again, surprise, surprise, and chases her through the thing. She manages to release the grip he has with a fucking taser, then she hides in a doorway. The only way she could have gone. MJ is dead. Like, MJ died in this tunnel many times, but the writers just wrote a thing that means she doesn't die. But she shouldn't have gone in the tunnel in the first place. Why did she tase him in the neck? MJ wrote a hit piece on him, her boyfriend, who she knows is currently possessed by a demon, alien thing. This makes her look like a colossal bitch. She never apologizes for this article. She takes her name off of it. If someone did this to me, I'd need them to actually apologize, not just, I took my name off it, what more do you want? See why she's a little bit of an arsehole. Then, ladies and gentlemen, he gets the symbiote off and then gives MJ a call. I just listen to this conversation.
Hello?
MJ, I got the suit off. And I'm so sorry for...
Go on.
Insomniac, oh my god, if you wanted to write an incredibly unlikable character, you've succeeded. He was possessed by an alien that made him a crazy person, and then you make him apologize further. This isn't the behavior of someone that cares for him. Yeah, he tried to kill you, but it wasn't. You know it's not him. And it's absolutely something that'll be hard for her to get over. But would she not stop him from apologizing? Like, hey, I know it wasn't you. It's gonna take me a minute to, you know, get over the fact that you said those things, but I know it wasn't you. Would that not be, is that so hard to do? And lastly, MJ becomes Scream here. But this is how she becomes Scream. So you're fucking telling me her reaction time's faster than Spider-Man? Faster than Spider-Man! Look at this! Her reaction time's faster than Spider-Man. What are they doing? This is the... I don't even have words. And then he gets stuck under a fridge. Then he comes out of the bloody kitchen. MJ, she's getting, I don't know, killed or something by this table. And then he just watches it happen. Like, Peter, why are you so shit? Attack, Peter, attack! You might be able to stop it if you attack him. Anyway, she becomes Scream, and then she starts a spiel about how hurt she is and stuff, and it's incredibly revealing about her character. The symbiote or whatever makes your feelings deep down inside of you. It makes you say them, or makes you feel them more.
Looking for answers, please, because you lost a job and can't pay a bill. My words I don't believe in for a man I despise. So you can be happy. I do it help you.
Okay, so she's talking about supporting Peter, but this scene is in the game.
If you need time, I can cover the mortgage.
No, I can't let you do that. Plus, you said Jonah might clean house.
I won't let him fire me. I know how much this house means to you. We'll figure it out.
But Peter gets a job with Harry. Based on his reaction to her paying the mortgage, he would probably be like, no, it's fine now. I've got a job. You don't need to pay the mortgage. She's probably paid the mortgage once, if that, and she's complaining about always supporting him. She just has her own job and she's paying her own bills and she's complaining about it. Like, nobody is supporting anybody unless you're talking about emotionally. And in that case, you should absolutely be supporting Peter. He let his aunt die because he had to be a hero. He absolutely needs the support. And remember, the symbiote makes you say how you feel, which means she feels like all of this is true. So it makes her look incredibly narcissistic, incredibly self-centered. They're the same thing. Who the fuck wrote this? Okay, now we've established that she isn't paying the bills, or if she is, she's just paid once. We're going to circle back to this article. She keeps coming back to like,
I can't lose this job, Peter.
So she will throw her boyfriend's reputation under the bus because she needs a job to pay her bills. But there's this wonderful scene here.
Connors is cured, the suit's still going strong, and apparently is called a symbiote. Oh, and it's an alien, which is pretty nuts, right?
Wait, what? You don't sound concerned.
I'm a little concerned, but I also couldn't have stopped Connors without it.
Peter, the two of you tore through half the city. Like, did you see what you did to the museum? I'm honestly surprised nobody got killed.
I'm not. And you know I had to cure him somehow. I mean, should I have just let him keep destroying things on his own?
That's not the... I'm gonna work here for the rest of the night. My muse for a new Jonah-proof article has finally struck.
So she just found out he has an alien on him. Then he comes home.
That's the story I was telling you about. I wanted to get your thoughts.
Looks amazing, MJ.
Honestly, like, think about it. What kind of conversation is this? How about we just throw your reputation under the bus so I can keep my job? If you want MJ to write this article and not seem like a bad guy, she would have had to have been paying the mortgage for at least a few months. And then the only way for her to continue paying the mortgage is to write this article about Peter so that he can keep his house that he doesn't want to get rid of. But then he also keeps bobbing her off throughout the game, so she has no other choice but to write the article. And the conflict between the two of them, I needed to write that article so you didn't lose your house, not her job. I think this is what they were trying to do, but they half-baked it. Or maybe they thought we wouldn't notice. But as it stands, this does not paint her in a good light. They wanted her to be super competent with the John Wick shit and wanted her to be, like, I don't know, not just the damsel in distress. The damsel in distress is better because she might be useless as a damsel in distress, which isn't necessarily the case. There's nothing inherently wrong with being the damsel in distress. But this is bad. This is unlikable. We like Peter. We like Spider-Man. And she's just being really mean to him. And we don't like it when people are mean to our favorite boy. MJ gets out of the symbiote suit by herself. This has problems because Peter wasn't able to save himself from the symbiote suit. So you're telling me that MJ has a tougher brain or stronger will than Peter does? There's nothing inherently wrong with MJ being able to do it. The issue arises when Peter can't do it, but MJ can, because Peter has been through stabbings, explosions, sleepless nights, fighting the Sinister Six all at once. His mental fortitude must be through the roof. Who do you think has more mental resilience, Spider-Man or a civilian? That's the problem. They're making MJ too strong. But it's okay. The director has something to say about that.
She's OP. If she's a little OP, I don't give a shit. But yeah, she's OP. She's probably OP. I don't care.
You don't care. OP is bad unless it's John Wick or One Punch Man or it's like supposed to be OP. Don't think he realizes that this makes Spider Boys look very, very incompetent. These are highly trained elite hunters. Like she can just walk through them with a little taser. This is her. Like this is MJ beating one guy up while he's aware of her, and this is Spider-Man beating one guy up. It makes him look really bad at his job. Remember this MJ mission where she sneaks? How does she convince a native speaker that she is also a native speaker when she can't fluently speak the language? Even if she was fluent, it takes an incredible amount of work and an incredible amount of time to be convincing. She's not a spy. Holy shit. But yeah, she makes Spider people look really bad. Like she deals with the symbiote things. Like look at these things. Do you know how hard it was for me to deal with these as Spider-Man on normal? And she just walks through them with her little stun gun thing and the webs with the stun on them. Like, why doesn't Spider-Man put the stun things on his own wrists? So you made him look dumb and incompetent. My last point about MJ is that she is a massive liability to have in the middle of a battle. Like, I'm pretty, like, Spider-Man gets stabbed because he's like, oh, MJ, and then tries to get over to her. Look, like, she is partially responsible for this. So again, why isn't Peter like, you need to stop going into these places and stop, we can't have you in the middle of a battle. You're a civilian and you don't have any powers. Like, he's like, you're not coming anymore to the next battle because I got stabbed last time you were there. And here, like, Venom's holding her. She could die at literally any second in this section. He doesn't, obviously. He doesn't kill her any second because everyone in this game is fucking stupid. But he also could have held her hostage and been like, give me the stone back. If Kraven had taken MJ hostage here, he could have gotten whatever he wanted. If Venom had taken MJ hostage here, they lose. But he doesn't, they just decide not to. So in conclusion, MJ is a horrible character. She's self-centered, she's spiteful, she's really dumb, she's incredibly OP, she makes the villains look stupid, she makes the heroes look stupid. She's a complete failure on every level. And I don't want to play as her in my Spider-Man game.
I heard all the feedback. Everybody just wants to see Spider-Man and whatever. Like, who cares about the perspective of seeing the world from a non-superhero standpoint? I was like, whatever. And I said, no, we're gonna do it. We're gonna look at the criticisms and see what we can do right. I felt like it was really important to prove that we could make them better.
I don't care that you felt like you could make them better. You clearly didn't look at the criticism. The criticism was we don't want them. We don't want any.
That nightmare, that mission where Pete's sleepwalking.
Yeah.
The goal here, I told the team, I go, just make people feel like she's really capable and she's gonna help save Pete.
In this scene, I did not think she could. She also didn't. She didn't help at all.
It was really important to show that she is a capable hero in her own way.
This idea that she needs to be a capable hero, so you make her this, harms your story more than it helps it. And it harms her character more than it helps it. A hero can be many, many things. But in this game, they seem to think it's one thing. And it's doing this shit. Aunt May is a hero because she mortgaged her house to keep Feast afloat. She used the tools that were available to her. MJ has tools like journalism, smart cookie. She could do journalistic things to help the boys figure out what's going on. There's no way to justify this.
I think we could have not had her playable and people would have been like, okay, that's fine, they got it.
No, that's not what would have happened. What would have happened was, oh, I really hope they don't make me play as MJ. Because, I mean, last time, that was the only complaint with the last game, was that there was too much there was a lot of MJ missions. Oh my god, wait, baby. I don't want to pick on him too hard. He's clearly very, very passionate about Spider-Man, which is great. And he's passionate about his team, and he's passionate about how the game got made. For all of my shitting on this game's story, fundamentally, this game is still pretty good. He clearly had this thing where he wanted to make MJ a strong, capable hero, but didn't realize the catastrophic damage that does to the game. You know what? Here's a flowchart. Here's a flowchart. Am I playing as Spider-Man? No. Take it out. Am I playing as Spider-Man? Yes. Is it a stupid robot? No. Keep it in. Is it a stupid robot? Yes. Take it out. That's it. Just follow this chart next time in Spider-Man 3 and you'll have a much better game.
I'm stuck.
I said all this shit about MJ and Miles so that we could talk about how it hurts him and how it hurts the plot. The writers want Miles to be the #1 Spider-Man by the end of this game. So they have Miles do some impossible shit. They also give him most, if not all, of Peter's conflict resolutions after Peter stops the lizard. He doesn't solve a single one of his problems after the lizard part. There's like 5 hours, 6 hours of game left. This is why some people think he's useless, because he literally does nothing at the end. It's not because he's a soy boy beta duck or whatever the fuck. He just doesn't solve his problems. He has no agency in his own story. Miles saves him from the symbiote. Miles comes up with the sound bomb thing. Then Miles and Lee save him and give him a power-up he didn't earn. When Peter goes into the heart of the Venom place, Miles is the one to come and save him. Peter lures Venom away to have a fight. He then loses the fight. Then Miles fights Venom. As the player, we beat Venom as Miles, not Peter. MJ and Miles are the ones to destroy the stone, thus saving all of New York City, and all Peter gets to do is kill his best friend. Jesus Christ, Insomniac. Do you hate Peter Parker? All he gets to do is kill his best friend. That's horrible. Obviously, they do all of this so Peter's okay with handing the reins over to Miles, because Miles solves all the problems that he shouldn't solve. And then Spider-Man is like, oh, guess he's so great. And they give us some of the worst fucking dick-sucking lines I have ever heard in my life.
Why would the city need me when it has you? Spider-Man didn't save me back there. Miles did.
As long as I can still call you for advice.
You don't need it.
Yes, he will, Peter. Yes, he will. Why are you so stupid? Spider-Man was the one who thought he needed the suit. So it was his problem to overcome and realize he didn't need it. It was his friend who was the big bad. Miles is the one to beat him. Norman Osborn goes and teams up with Doc Ock, who are both Spider-Man villains, not Miles villains. So having Miles deal with the consequences of Spider-Man's villains is just really silly. The best villains have a direct connection to the hero. Like the villain in this is Peter's best friend. The villain before, he worked with Martin Lee at Feast and Doc Ock was his boss. And then it's going to be Doc Ock and Green Goblin's his best mate's dad. If Miles is the hero of the next game, this falls apart and you've misread a fundamental aspect of storytelling and it's really, really frustrating. Next, Jesus. Throughout the whole story, they need Peter to kind of be bad at being Spider-Man, or at least suffer so that he thinks he needs the suit. Nothing wrong with this concept. The issue is that they make Spider-Man do really dumb stuff so that he gets beaten up, or they make some fucking crazy shit happen. Like, look at this. Why did Spider-Man try and punch Sandman, this huge fucking creature, in the nose? What would that possibly achieve? And then they make him do it 2 more times. What will this achieve? Then he gets struck by lightning. Fucking twice. Like, the chances? Oh my goodness. And then here, why doesn't he use his webs? He's like, oh, Spider-Man needs Miles' help because Miles is bear and Spider-Man can't do it on his own? Yeah, you can. Just web them up. Like, what the fuck's happening? He gets stabbed by Craven. Here. Remember how he gets stabbed? So when we put this together, we watch Spider-Man make bad tactical decisions and get punished for them, while Miles, the less experienced Spider-Man, just skates through the whole situation without any consequences. And this makes Peter look very dumb and very bad, and Miles look amazing. And all while this is happening, MJ is being a massive bitch. And he's not standing up for himself. He's not saying I was possessed by an alien and that I didn't do any of it. And why did you make a hit piece on me? Even though you knew that wasn't me. He doesn't need to say the stuff aggressively. He just needs to stand up for yourself, Peter, and have some self-respect. And then he also lets her barrel into these fucking camps and doesn't tell her off. Like, I got stabbed last time you did this. You're not a superhero. You're gonna die, and it worries me. Why isn't Peter terrified that MJ's gonna die going into the symbiote nest and he can't focus? You could have done that. That's how oh my god, I just thought of that. You could have done that. That's why he lost to Venom, because he was so worried about MJ. Because this is a silly idea to send MJ, a civilian, into a fucking nest. Miles almost gets civilians killed. Spider-Man isn't being a fucking mentor. He doesn't look like a very bad mentor. Harry joins Peter for a mission here as Agent Venom. I didn't even talk about Harry. Fuck, I didn't even talk about Harry. Let's talk about Harry. While on the mission, Harry makes a bunch of bad decisions. He tries to disable this trap and almost kills Tombstone, although Peter didn't see that. And then I thought it would have been cool after Peter and Tombstone get a little second to talk. He was like, yo, that friend of yours fucked that booby trap up and nearly killed us. And then I was expecting Peter to be like, look, listen, we're not invincible. If we want to do this, you have to follow my lead. You can't just go willy-nilly blowing shit up. But instead of that fucking conversation, we got this.
I was pretty sure I was just messing everything up.
You were. But in the best possible way.
No, he didn't. He messed up in the worst way. He almost killed everyone. The character writing in this is so bad. Anyway, so by the end of the game, I've just watched Peter be weak, stupid, pathetic, bad mentor, solve none of his own problems, and then he quits being Spider-Man. Like Insomniac. Do you hate Peter Parker?
What have you done? What have you done?
My time with Spider-Man Marvel's 2 on that one was not great. Still feels good to be Spider-Man and have the exaggerated swagger of a young... The point of a story is to keep me engaged. It did a terrible job because nobody was acting like a real person. Fucking these two fuckers were just amazing the whole time. Like, there's nothing to latch onto or care. Like, at the end of the game, they would just do what they wanted. Like, there was no stakes because Miles and MJ just would just solve it. Character writing in this game was just horrible. They wanted to raise Miles and MJ up so fucking high, and the only way they seemed to know how to do that was to pull Peter down. Okay, I'm done. The story was a disaster. Good days, sirs and madams, and thank you for listening to my video. Oh, I am Wee Meathead, aka Cameron, aka the guy from up north, aka the one with the weird accent, the one who might be drunk. Someone commented that I'm either drunk or Scottish, and I think that's just a side effect. My last video got like 8,000 views or something by the time of filming this, which is just absolutely bonkers. And this is where I filmed. Thank you so much. And the comments are amazing. You're all just saying lovely things, saying my personality is fantastic, which is just lovely. Didn't expect such a nice comment. Someone told me when I make it big to remember them and stay away from the children. And I'm a big fan of staying away from children. So, yeah. But, thank you. My plan for the channel is to just make videos on shit I give a fuck about, honestly. So, thank you once again for watching my video. Fucking yes.